So we've actually got a nice little pile of stuff. Although we do have one non-anime DVD there. I've never seen this before, but I've always heard good things about it. Very curious. Let's see, we'll put this down and just start opening DVDs. This one kind of feels thick. It's a Right Stuff package. Another one of these. We got an advertisement for another, which I'm looking forward to. Here we've got the Amazon package. Just got a pile of stuff. And then finally, we got a box from Japan. It's nice that they all arrived today. Let's see, come on. I don't know. The packaging is getting weird. I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever received packaging like this from Amazon Japan. It's a lot like packaging that has happened here in the US, though. Oof, oof, oof. Keep bouncing the camera. Alright, why don't we go through these in almost that order. Let's begin with this, though, because technically, so I decided to go ahead and get this since basically, this is sort of like those two Yu-Gi-Oh DVDs I got. Pyramid of Light, maybe? I don't know. Capsule Monsters. That was it. Yu-Gi-Oh Capsule Monsters. In that, Robotech, technically, I don't know. The original Robotech series was actually a combination of 3 different anime series into one thing. And the Shadow Chronicles was a movie made for here in the US based on that. So technically I would consider this probably an American animation based on a Japanese animation, but I'd have to watch it to make sure. Well, technically this has 2 things. It looks like it's the premiere release of Love, Live, Alive, but I figured it would make sense to get this just for completeness sake. Especially if I kind of change my mind and decide, I'll consider it anime. But the truth of the matter is, I don't like to think about Robotech because, you know, it is composed of 3 different anime series, and I prefer the ADV release, which kind of, well, helps differentiate those. Where you have Macross and Southern Cross. Is that right? And then Mospeda. Mospeda? Yeah, it's a Slimer. Mosquito. No more mosquito. I don't know. All I know is, again, I'm trying to do this for completeness sake in case I'm ever curious enough. Although, truth of the matter is I should probably get a release that's actually called Robotech, if only to have access to the story as it's modified that way. And so now let's go. Next up we got Marine Boy, which possibly a little borderline in some ways, but it sounded like it was pretty conclusively anime. It's just some people, or Wikipedia calls it an American anime, the first American anime, and that's some alarming terminology, and this is some surprisingly hard plastic. I'm not able to make a dent with it with my unimpressive nails. We'll go up. We'll go for the side thing. No. We'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Tear the shit out of it. No, come on. So there was a 3-episode series called Marine Boy that was definitely Japanese. It was kind of a pilot, and not much came of it. Like, well, okay. I think what happened was after the pilot, the person who made it was kind of interested in doing full series, and they didn't want to do it, so they created something else that wasn't called Marine Boy. It was called something else, but I guess the U.S. release is called Marine Boy, even though the 26-episode series was slightly called something different. As you can see, these are burn-on-demand, i.e. DVD recordable medias. And I think this got listed... Well, I didn't know it was listed until like a month after it came out, which was like just last week. But as far as I can tell, maybe this had some funding from the U.S., but it still aired in both the U.S. and Japan as far as I can tell. So I at least have it in case I ever make a different decision. Next we have Blast of Tempest. It's a kind of heavy DVD. I have absolutely no idea what this series is or about. It's Japanese with English subtitles, an Aniplex release, so I probably paid a lot of money for it. You know, because that's what Aniplex is like. Oh, well, that's a kind of useful slipcover then, if it's hiding more art on the inside. Oh geez, oh geez, lots of things, and that DVD is really colorful. So we've got a special booklet. It's like got information. This is a very Aniplexy thing to do. They have a poster which says Blast of Tempest, and I saw that here on the back there's more. Naturally a card, another one that's a proof of purchase. This is the complete first season. And then on the inside here we've got that probably a guy. Anime can sometimes be intentionally vague in this regard, but I'm pretty sure that was a guy, and I don't know about these. And now that I think about it, we want the inserts to go back in here. Just like that. Again, I don't know much about this series. I just made sure I pre-ordered everything that Aniplex of America was releasing. Next up, we've got One Piece, Season 5, Voyage 1. Bunch of mysterious people. So, I'm kind of not expecting this one, based on the way it looks, to be too different from Fourth Voyage. Remember that the Fourth Voyage kind of simplified the DVD a bit. This one almost seems like it'd be more along the same lines. And to be honest, I'm completely okay with that, because I'm just glad to be getting more One Piece. Although I have absolutely no idea what this season will be about. We finally have some more Fairy Tail. Here's the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, set 5. Strange Girl on the back. Insert. This is what I expect more of the slip covers. Is they have same or similar art style as the DVD case underneath. We go inside, and we've got people on, which ones are these? DVD versions. Then we've got the Fairy Tail symbol on the 2 Blu-ray versions. Huh. Strange. So the real question is, if I fire this up, will I remember enough of what happened before to follow it? That's kind of important, because I would prefer following it that way if I can. Oh well. Oh, well. Next up, we've got Phi-Brain Puzzle of God, which is season 2, collection 1. This is the DVD version. As you can see, there is an English dub right there. So, the Blu-ray version, unlike other Phi-Brain stuff, the Blu-ray version actually just shipped earlier today. So I'll have it on Thursday, and thus it should be here from next week's DVD update. Ooh, next week is the 30th. You know, with any luck, I'll also have that Madoka release that's coming out. But I think that comes out on the 30th. But I still haven't watched any of this. I really should. Simple case, but whatever gets the anime to me. And then there's the 2 releases that you saw came from Japan. That would be Japanese Blu-ray releases of the 2 Unico movies, which should be English dubbed. It looks like down here it's mentioning Japanese and English, Nihongo, and I don't know what the symbols for English might be pronounced as. Truth of the matter is, I kind of agree. This will probably be licensed here in the U.S. soon enough. I mean, who are they? Eastern Star has been doing a good job of rescuing stuff. But the truth of the matter is that Unico and the Island of Magic is one of my defining childhood movies. It's one of the few anime that I've known since forever. I mean, I've always watched this my entire life, and I've always really liked this one. Here we go. We've got a Blu-ray release. Very much like the DVD release. So I guess now that we've got this, why don't we pop it in the TV real quick and just verify that there is as much of a dub as it sounds like there should be. So, for those of you who don't know, even if these are region coded, I don't see it saying anything on there. The truth of the matter is that there's no risk for me since yeah, I don't see it saying any region coding on the back here either. Region A is both the US and Japan, and probably other countries as well, since there's only the 3 region codes. But the point is, there's not a lot of risk. There's not any risk importing from Japan. If you think it has dub or English subtitles, or you have very good reason to believe so, then there you go. You would have, let's see, under soundtrack, I'm actually not getting anything. Let's see. It's a little sparkle around things. That's chapters. Language. We can turn subtitles off. Let's just skip to something that has...
Where am I?
Yep, that's the English dub. Alright. And I didn't have much of an opinion based on how it looked. I'll probably fire it up tonight, maybe? Since, well, okay. The only anime I think I've watched... No, that's aimed a little low. And we'll do that. There we go. The only thing I really watched this week, as far as I can remember, is Naruto Shippuden Set 15, which is probably actually located right there under those papers. And the reason I say that is because I've just been distracted playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate or while playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, just firing up other random things. I guess part of the reason for that is if there's an anime I'm kind of curious about, like Lovely Complex here, or finishing Hanasaku Iroha. Basically, because they are subtitled only, it's hard to read and play Monster Hunter at the same time. So, yeah. That's just been causing me to not watch stuff as much as I should. In theory, I could be doing something like watching the dub for Blue Exorcist and having an opinion on that, but in practice, I haven't been doing that either. I haven't even watched the Gurren Lagann set here, and I paid a lot of money for that. I guess I'm just really delaying things, feeling instead like making progress in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. But, at a minimum, I did watch Naruto Shippuden. Set 15, I think. And it's pretty much all filler. But the interesting thing about it is it's very different from the normal Naruto filler I'm used to. Where, well, maybe it's not revealing necessarily noteworthy information or important events. We'll have to see. The truth of the matter is it's very nice that they're at least keeping their stories to one, maybe 2 episodes per. So it makes it a lot more watchable. Feels a lot less like it's dragging on than like Naruto did the second half of its series, where you spend, I don't know, 30 episodes and Naruto farts on a bug. And then you're like, oh my god, I'm in... The rest of the filler for Naruto is going to be just as useless as that. And maybe it's okay sometimes, maybe it's not, but... yeah, with Naruto Shippuden, it's loads better. It's at least kind of... I haven't been too curious about that character, but I guess it's kind of interesting to see. You kind of get a little more insight into how different events that happened in the first Naruto series that were actually important, how it kind of affected them. But the truth of the matter is I don't know how long it's going to be doing this, so part of me is not getting too much hope up. I didn't have much hope up here because I knew that with as awesome as the Pain arc was, it's going to be really hard for them to top that. I think there's a similar problem with Evangelion 3.33, where after 2.22 it would be pretty damn hard for them to get people even more excited or more into it. It had set a high barrier for entry, basically. But excuse me. Yeah, that's it. What else have I been doing? I have been watching some stuff, but it's mostly been random stuff off the not anime server because I kind of feel like there's not as much risk of watching stuff there. But the truth of the matter is that I guess that mostly started up because I was reminded of some awesome things from Stargate, and I just started looking up on the internet specific episodes and watching specific episodes because there's just some neat things about Stargate SG-1. From there, I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe I should watch Stargate Atlantis. Now, my not anime media server isn't working. That's what kind of stopped me, is I was like trying to find an episode I could still watch with the failing disk drive, and I kept not being able to finish episodes. So I'm like, okay, I should switch series. Oh, I know. Maybe I should watch Stargate Atlantis. I always meant to. I kind of just only got summaries of how Stargate Atlantis stuff would be important to an event in Stargate SG-1 that was happening at the moment. Tried that, but, you know, after the first episode, the second episode started and then just ran into the same hard disk problem. So I'm like, okay, maybe different hard disk. I'll try Stargate Universe. 15 minutes into that, I was choosing to leave because actually I might not have even lasted 15 minutes. Because the truth of the matter is, I just didn't want to see any more of that. Something about that really irked me as somebody trying to shove a couple of different other series into Stargate. And that didn't feel right. So I'm like, oh god, when can I find something I can watch? Well, I did manage to watch Adventure Time Season 2. That actually seemed slightly more morbid than I remember the first season being. I'm not sure how much more, but yeah. Very interesting. Very entertaining. And interested in seeing more Adventure Time on DVD. Probably a bunch of other random stuff that I just can't remember at the moment. Because I was always trying to find something. Not wanting to start too new a series because of the drive being on the fritz. And basically just being overall busy and talking to people, planning things, and helping things out. Finally had a weekend to myself where I kind of zombied a little bit. Oh well. All that complicated stuff aside, I think I've already mentioned all the relevant anime stuff. And yeah, if I never gave any update on the car situation, because I think I mentioned that my car had been totaled and I was dealing with that. The truth of the matter is I'm perfectly fine at this point. I'm completely set up so that I'm once again doing car payments, and that could eat into a potential anime budget if I decide to try and expand it, get into catching up on old stuff. Life's kind of telling me I maybe shouldn't focus on that now, what with needing hard drives and all my media servers. So there you go. Everything's complicated and crazy, but calming down, and anime is still coming out, and that's good. Oh, maybe that's something worth mentioning, because I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I'm evaluating next month whether or not I'm going to continue ordering Sentai stuff from Amazon. It is definitely good that Phi-Brain arrived, and another one shipped, so it depends. Why stick with Amazon? The shipping's going to be dirt cheap. That, and if there's individual delays in an entire order, it won't delay the entire order. It's kind of something I started looking for when I first found Amazon. So, there you go. That's all the complicated things in the week. Can't think of anything specific to mention, so here's hoping, I know I'm crossing my fingers hoping that by next week, the 30th, that I have the ability to show you all the Madoka Movie 1 and 2 set, which I think is coming out. But otherwise, have a nice week.